Hello, everyone. I am Rustam Lawyer, and welcome to the second episode of Rad Voice, where we discuss perspectives from the radiology community. We have a very special guest with us today, and I'm really excited to have Dr. Radesh Srinivasan. Dr. Radesh founded Clumax Diagnostics, which was acquired by Medall, another large diagnostic group. And then he went on to set up Celera Diagnostics. So Celera stands for the Center of Excellence in Laboratory and Radiology in Bangalore. He is truly a serial entrepreneur in our radiology market and a great inspiration to us. So welcome, Dr. Radesh, and thanks for giving us this time.
Good afternoon, Rustum. Thank you very much for inviting me. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Radesh. I'm the director and promoter of Celera Diagnostics.
You've actually successfully set up two businesses in the radiology market. And I really want to jump straight into this. What is your secret sauce? How did you do it?
Well, the secret sauce, Rustum, is the teamwork. I mean, that is my secret sauce. And a small story it all started way back in 1992 when I finished my post graduation in radiology and my wife finished her post graduation from pathology.
Okay.
So I still distinctly remember that evening where we just went for a stroll and then we were discussing why not we start something of our own.
Yeah.
Okay, that was way back in 1992.
Wow.
And fast forwarding the whole thing, 13 years down the line, that was in 2005, we started our first diagnostic initiative called Clumax Diagnostics. And we really materialized our dream and started an integrated diagnostics. Now we had radiology as well as pathology. So during that time, say 1992, it was very rare to find integrated diagnostic centers. There were centers, but far and few. So we thought that why don't we start something which is world class at that point of time and render our services to the patient. And during this journey of 13 years, when we were practicing and we were also learning a lot by traveling, not only in India but also abroad, we came across very good doctors and also non-doctors like technologists, the front office staff, the admin staff, the finance staff, who we thought fitted into our wavelength or the stream of action what we were planning. And that is how they came on board and we started along with them. Though we were the promoters, I never considered them anyone who are like our employees. They were all a part of the extended family. So with that, we started Clumax, which in fact became a household name for diagnostics, both in radiology and pathology. Then after Clumax, the fire in the belly did not douse. So we started this initiative called Celera Diagnostics, which stands, as you already mentioned, Center of Excellence in Laboratory and Radiology. And here we have state-of-the-art equipments and state-of-the-art technology. And probably I can say we are one of the few centers, maybe in India, who are doing advanced imaging studies at this center.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So I wanted to sort of get your perspective that currently we're really experiencing quite a unique time, the sort of economic shock as well that is happening. And I think most of us have never seen anything like this in our lifetimes, due to this whole global shutdown. But especially in our industry, there's a huge fear psychosis going on. People are afraid to go to hospitals. I'm sure they're afraid to go to the diagnostic centers as well. So what are those new sort of business models emerging out of this crisis and the opportunities?
Well, Rustum, if we are talking about models, maybe I feel there is no distinct model which is emerging. But if you look at the scenario, as you said, now pandemic or no pandemic, economic crisis or economic stability. Still, the patients do need the service.
Sure.
Though they have the fear psychosis, I understand very much. Yes, this is something new which has come into our country. And again, thanks to the government, it is doing a great job in
Yes.
trying to curtail this pandemic. So, having said that, we are getting a lot of patients here who are non COVID cases,
Okay.
who need diagnosis and treatment for their survival.
Sure.
So that is one thing which we have seen in spite of this crisis. There are people who are coming in for other diseases.
Sure.
And what I feel probably to cater to the needs of the patient
Mm-hmm.
is the insurance. Okay, if you take the insurance, today in India, a vast majority of the insurance companies cater to patients only if they are admitted, only for the inpatients. I think following this pandemic, what may change is if the insurance people start looking at outpatients and also for diagnostics. In
Okay.
fact, this is yet to take off in India, but if you look at the West, I think most of the countries are already doing this.
Yes.
So probably that model will work, wherein at least the patients also are now more understanding. They also know that such catastrophes can happen in their lives. So they will also go and start insuring.
Sure.
And if the insurance comes on an outpatient basis or for diagnostics exclusively, I think it will have a tremendous impact on the patient's health
Yeah.
and also on the economy.
Sure. I think, sort of healthcare is, going to get a lot more central focus now
Yes.
and investment as well. I mean, another aspect to this whole industry, which is getting a lot more prominence, is the technological advancements that are happening. I mean, today we're seeing algorithms that are detecting with about 90% accuracy, in an X-ray, if someone has COVID, say, for example. And, as an entrepreneur and a doctor as well, I mean, what are the new and important technologies, and how important is that to the success of a business like this?
I think upskilling is always the mantra, Rustam.
Sure.
I think this definitely has an impact on the business.
Yes.
Now, to cite a few examples here, like when I started way back in 1992, I started working on a zero point 0.5 Tesla magnet.
Okay.
But today, we have a 3 Tesla magnet. And I can tell you, there is an ocean of a difference. There has been a paradigm shift from what we saw on a 0.5T to what we are seeing today on a 3 Tesla.
Sure.
It is not just looking at submillimeter lesions today on a 3 Tesla, but it has also opened up a new avenue of investigations. Now, if you look at cartilage mapping, it was there, but the quality of cartilage maps, what we do for a knee joint, is much, much better than what we were doing on a previous 1.5 Tesla.
Sure.
So I think the technological upgrades are extremely critical to improve the business.
Sure.
Now, if we start looking at even say, let's take Ogneto for that matter. It is your own software.
Yes.
I tell you, it has done so much good to us. So what I found was I get some additional time to look at the images, because I know when I start dictating, these spells are accurate.
Sure.
Okay, and I take much less time in dictating my report. So why not I spend more time in trying to look at lesions? So again, the technological advances, and this has tremendously impacted our workflow. Okay, we are doing better. The patient turnaround time is faster, and it is more convenient, less number of mistakes, less human interference. So I think the advances in technology are a tremendous boon to improve the business also.
Thank you, sir. No, I mean, thank you for, the opportunity as well, to have worked with you and, to sort of, contribute in our own small way, to this area. So, another sort of area, that I wanted to sort of discuss with you is that as an entrepreneur, I've certainly felt, building a business over the years, an intense pressure that you have to go through as an entrepreneur to build a business. But you, sir, have actually, been able to be a doctor and an entrepreneur together. So how have you been able to balance both these two things? What is your advice on that?
I think I've already answered it in your first question, Rustum.
Yeah.
It's all my secret sauce,
Yeah.
which is doing magic.
Working
So,
with
absolutely, the teamwork. So every department, what we have, let it be radiology, pathology, finance, admin, and so on,
yeah.
they know their work like the back of their hand.
Mm-hmm.
So that tremendously eases your pressure, and you can start focusing on things which you are good at or which is needed to drive the center forward. Just to take an example of cricket,
Yes, sir.
okay? If you take the captain need not always be the best batsman, bowler, or the wicket keeper.
Exactly, yeah.
There are people, there are 11 members in the team, and apart from the captain, at least 10 of them who can deliver. So my job is just to lead the team, and they are doing the rest. I'm very, very happy about that.
That's excellent, sir. And it's a real inspiration to always hear these types of stories, especially as an entrepreneur. It really is really about a team. And finally, a business is the people that make it up, right? So this brings us to our last question. What is your advice, to young and aspiring radiologists in our community and in our country? What are the opportunities you see for them, and your overall, advice for them?
Well, I always tell this to the young radiologists. At least three things are extremely important. One is passion. You should be very, very passionate in whatever you do. You may be doing ultrasound, you may be doing even conventional x-rays, you may be doing CT, you may be doing MR, PET, intervention, whatever. You should be very, very passionate. Start liking in what you do. Okay, if you don't like what you're doing, it puts tremendous pressure on you. I think it's not worth, and we are not delivering what we need to deliver to the patient. That is quality. So that is one. Second, commitment. So you should be committed in whatever you do. So please be focused. Please be committed in whatever you do so that you can deliver better diagnosis. And third, which is very important for youngsters, is curiosity. You should have childlike curiosity. If you look at a child, it's very curious. It wants to know everything what is happening around it. So similarly, I think you should also be curious enough and start imbibing a lot of knowledge, not only from your seniors, but today you have media where things like Google, things like Twitter, things like LinkedIn, where you can really go and try to learn or imbibe a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the second part of your question, Rustum, is the opportunities. Opportunities are tremendous. It all depends on how you look at the opportunity. The situations don't change. It is only our perception which is different. So if you look at challenges as an opportunity, I think you have tremendous opportunity. Look at us as radiologists today. What were we? We were called armchair radiologists. Today, I am very proud to say we never call ourselves as radiologists. We call ourselves as clinical radiologists, intervention radiologists. There is a good prefix to the whole thing because we are involved in patient management. And when it comes to intervention radiology, my interventional radiology colleagues are all running their OPDs like any other clinical clinician does it. So they admit patients, they do the procedure, they follow up with the case.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I would like to tell in conclusion to my young radiologists is you are here at the right time. Okay, a lot of things are happening around you and you are the nucleus. So please try to be curious, imbibe a lot of things, impart a lot of things, and take radiology to the next level.
Thank you so much, Dr. Radesh, for giving us this time, and most importantly, for providing such a great service at this time, and just generally, it's really an excellent business and service that you've set up. So thank you.
Thanks, Rustom.
Thank
Okay, I try to be safe.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Tough times, but I'm very positive that we will come over this. Okay, and let's aim for something higher.
For sure. Thank you. So thank you everyone for watching this. And if you have any questions for Dr. Radesh or for the Ognito team, please leave your comments below. Thank you everyone. Thanks.